goodness. Here we go again.
Come on.
I like to send a special dedication out to all my family and friends. Come on.
Wow.
Let's do it again, band and show. I said we all must go. Come on.
We're cranking in the morning. We're jumping in the evening time.
We're moving all night long. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it again.
Murray Bomb. What's up?
Let's do it again.
Whole lot. Come on.
Let's do it again.
Southwest, you up in the building.
Let's do it again.
Yeah.
We're cranking in the morning. We're jumping in the evening time.
We're moving all night long. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it again.
Say the whole white to outside.
Let's do it again.
Hey. Say my main man Earl, what's going on?
Let's do it again.
Southwest, what's up?
Let's do it again.
Hey. I let my music for 14th and out.
I see the sexy Keisha. Let's do it. Yeah. Do it.
Wow.
Yeah, we got a cancer birthday up in here tonight. We gonna do it tonight. You feel me? Yeah. A happy birthday, Kim. That's right. See you over there. Do it.
Tiana,
I only mess with beats. And do it.
Come on.
Kiki,
Boys, freak up in the building.
Lindsay.
We're cranking in the morning. We're jumping in the evening time.
We're moving all night long. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it again.
14th to Congress.
Let's do it again.
Yeah. 14th to Clifton.
Let's do it again.
Hey. The whole Southwest up in here.
Let's do it again.
And that's the balcony crew.
Yeah. I wanna wish my man, Big Moe, happy birthday. Cause we at a cancer party tonight. You already know. We wanna do it.
Big K,
We wanna do it for y'all cancer tonight.
Charlie,
Do it.
Twins.
Oh, boy, boy, boy.
Boy, boy.
Do it. Yeah. 14th and Congress up in the building.
Come on.
Do it. Get that back into it. I'm gonna do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. We're cranking in the morning. We're jumping in the evening time.
We're moving all night long. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it again.
You got the whole LA mob up in here.
Let's do it again.
We're gonna do a shot for the Chicago mob.
Let's do it again.
Also down south. Y'all feeling it down south?
Let's do it again.
Let's indeed.
Hey, what's up, what's up, what's up? That's right, here we go again, another Wednesday night, man. Right here, man, right here. I mean, can you believe it? I mean, look how many shows that we done had throughout the year that, guess what? On Wednesday night, I'm still right here. Straight out of Washington, D.C., Southeast. What's his name? Tom Moe. That's right, man, I'm here. And happy, okay? The day wasn't a real sunny day, but it was nice out, man. You know what I'm saying? A little rain came here and there, man. I hope y'all had a good day. Y'all did some positive things, man, while y'all was out there. So, look, before we get into the show, I want to do my little normal routine, man. I'm going to talk about something that I may seen, something I heard, something that went on. And what I want to share today is that Mayor Bowser, the mayor for Washington, D.C., has pushed back again the opening of the public. She pushed it back again, man. In some way, I feel like I understand, you know what I mean? Because we do know that the corona is still here. We're not trying to pass that thing on, you know what I mean? But we do know is other places, man, that's open. You know, not fully, but in stage 2, you know what I mean? I think I heard it was somewhere they was open, they was in stage 3. But once again, like I say, we've been pushed back. And it's okay, Mayor Bowser. I'm not mad at you because we're going to do the right thing right here in Washington, D.C. Now, man, look, I've been trying to do this particular show for so long. That's right. That's right, man. As you can see, man, I got my guest here tonight, man. I'm going to let him introduce himself in a few minutes and tell you a little bit about himself. But I want to say something first. And that is, this is my neighbor. He lives right next door to me, man. Right next door, man. I'm talking about, man, a guy that I never known. You know what I mean? When I moved into my house, we really never really talked. I used to mess his grass up when I used to cut my grass. But as years went on, man, you know, we always spoke to one another. But it's strange how God bring people together. Let me say that because I'm really not a person that gets involved with neighbors no matter where I live at. Only when I was a kid, you know, we in the hood, so we run around with everybody. But as I came adult, man, I kind of mind my business, you know, stay in my lane. But me and this guy here, man, became to be good friends, man, good neighbors, you know what I mean? And respect him a whole lot, man. It's like when you grow up learning what respect is. I was always taught to respect my elders, always taught that. And that's something that I would never lose, no matter how old I am or how old I may get. You know what I mean? And I have so much respect for him, for the man that I have seen how he worked. You know, there's nothing fantastic we done together to bond us. It's just natural. You know what I mean? And on that note right there, I'm going to let him introduce himself and just kind of tell people a little bit about yourself and we'll move forward.
Good evening, all. My name is Howard Goins. That's spelled Goines. I'm a native Washingtonian, but the last name is a southern name. You'll find it in Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Florida.
So, Mr. Goins, where are you originally from?
I'm a native Washingtonian. I'm originally from, and I've always lived, other than now, within walking distance to the capital. I lived in Northwest on Massachusetts Avenue,
Okay.
Northeast on I Street, and then Southwest before I got on my own and moved into Southeast.
Okay. So when I met you, you was driving a cab, correct?
That was one of my jobs.
Okay, well tell me.
That was my other money job.
Okay, what about the first job then? Tell us about that.
I worked 7 years for what the younger folks don't know, but the older folks know, which was prior to Metro, was DC Transit.
Okay. I'm familiar.
I worked 7 years for DC Transit, and I've always been in transportation.
Okay.
I left DC Transit and I went to Trailways.
Oh, okay. You talking about driving the trains?
Driving the bus.
Oh, the buses. Okay.
The bus.
All right. Okay.
Until Greyhound bought Trailway out, and between the two companies, I worked 14 years.
Oh, okay. That's right. Working history. And then from there, where you went?
I went to the federal government. I got me a good government job.
Okay.
Still in driving. I've always
Right.
been in transportation, driving or selling travel. I also sold travel for a while.
Oh, okay.
Which was the first black agency that was legit, and that was Rogers Travel, and a lot of the older folks would know Rogers Travel from up on Georgia Avenue.
Well, let me ask you, when you said that was legit, what you mean by that?
They were an Astra. They were registered.
Okay.
They were the only black agency that could go to hotels, go to anything else because they were a legit company.
Okay. So that means it was a few companies that's out there wasn't registered like that.
They're actually, Rogers started teaching black travel how to sell travel. And then eventually a lot of the travel agents, left Rogers and went out on their own. But if they wanted to get legit things done, they had to come back to Rogers, to use their name.
So let me ask you this. Can you remember what year that was you was doing this travel?
Well, that's easy. I started in 1973 driving the trailways. Okay, Rogers Travel would charter a lot of trailway buses. And then once the travel agents from Rogers got to know me, basically they would send me out with a busload of their people, and my job was to help them get in the hotels, get them settled and everything. Then people started coming up to me wanting to do travel. And then a light went in my head, and I said, well, hell, I can go to Rogers and do both. I can put the package together, sell them under Rogers' name, and that's how I got really involved in travel, driving the bus, taking the people to wherever they were going, and, getting them set up in the hotel and their travel packages together.
So you can say you was in that business for about how long?
From 73 till the early 90s.
So was it just like black owners back there, or was the white people doing it too?
No, they were black owners. And when I tell you how long ago, this was before computers came along.
Okay.
So let's say one year I took an airplane load of people. We chartered the plane and went to Jamaica. 143 people, if I remember correctly. And I had to sit down and handwrite 143 tickets out. Whereas today you put everything in the computer and they popped it out. But when computers came along, they put the independent or the small travel agents out of business.
Okay.
Because then people could call the airlines, go into their computer, and everything was done. Then the airlines started cutting back on the commissions that they would give out to the agents or the agencies. So the small travel agent, that put him out of business.
Kind of faded him out.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's well, you already know. I didn't know that you actually did that, but knowing that, maybe me and you going to start a new package for the band. Maybe for we can travel and do all these sorts of things. That's good to know. Now, I'm just kind of going on. So what about when did you get into, because you always been in the driving, we got that established.
I'm still in the driving.
Right, still into the cab thing.
No. I gave up the cab business.
No, I'm saying when you were driving.
Oh, when I was driving the cab.
Yeah. Because that's when I kind of met you.
Well, how did that come? Oh, when I first started driving the bus, Trailways and Greyhound, what a lot of people don't realize is that seasonal work. You work from Labor Day till New Year's.
Okay.
And then after New Year's, people stop traveling that much on the bus.
Okay.
So it dies down to Easter.
Right.
Then Easter pick up when kids are out of school, vacation time comes, you got more people traveling. So you could be furloughed.
Right, okay.
In the wintertime, business was slow. So you had to have a backup, because when they furlough you, you don't get paid. And it takes years to build up the seniority where you worked every day. Well, not every day, but you had a good salary coming in, and you didn't have a fear of being furloughed.
Right.
So my backup was the cab.
Oh, okay. Did you like driving the cab? Was that
Well, put it this way, I enjoyed driving. So, cab didn't matter.
Right.
I knew the city, and that made it easier for me. But if you don't like to drive, you don't like to do those things.
So how you feel about the Uber thing and the Lyft thing that's going on now?
Well, right now, Uber and Lyft are on the dead side because of COVID-19. They're not as popular because people don't want to get in the confinements of a cab. to me, it's a hustle. Uber and Lyft has basically put cab drivers, independent cab drivers or cab companies out of business. That's why now you see the city bringing a lot of the cabs, putting them on apps so they can pick up where they, left off. But with COVID-19, it's hurt everyone's
Right,
business.
yeah, most definitely, man. COVID-19 most definitely put a whole halt to the whole world, basically.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I most definitely understand you on that. Now I want to go back. Because I want to talk about, or I want to kind of enlighten some of my viewers about when you was a kid. And the reason I'm asking that is because of the incident with the officer putting his knee on the brother's neck, killing him. I mean, because they got so much footage coming out now that I've seen. They actually killed this man. And we talking about segregation. We talking about whites against blacks. When you was growing up, did you kind of like entwine with any of that?
Well, you have to realize when I was growing up, everyone didn't have a camera.
Okay.
They didn't have a telephone with the camera on it to log in what the police was doing.
Right.
And the police was doing their dirt. But when I grew up, people feared, or blacks feared, the police.
Okay.
So I grew up, my aunt was a bootlegger. There were people in the neighborhood who were running numbers. And they knew which officers to stay away from and which they could do their business within their surroundings. Saturday and Sunday, police were whooping up on black folks.
Okay.
But it wasn't as much, or, you could hear the folks whispering about what they'd done to a black person on the weekends, but it was covert. It wasn't overt. Now it's overt, and the police feels like they can do these things, and they do it.
When I think about that, because I most definitely I had run-ins with the law growing up as a young adult. And I didn't, we knew, like you just said, we knew a certain group of officers that when these niggas come on the strip, it's trouble.
Yep.
So it's best if we leave or some brothers going to jail. You know what I mean? Because of who they
and
were.
go to jail.
Yeah,
It's gonna
yeah.
happen.
You know what I'm saying?
It's going to happen.
And what I'm trying to get at, is we all know that it's always been a color scheme, white against black, and the white was always superior. But when I think back, I never actually really seen the racism.
Well, how can I explain this? Racism, well it's like I tell people, there's overt racism and there's covert racism.
Okay.
Up here, when I say up here, I mean in the North, the racism was covert. It was undercover. And, I used to think, I don't know if I could have made it if I lived down south with what our brothers had to put up with down there.
Right.
And now, they're stepping forward because they have the backup of the cameras and people being aware of what's going on. But in the 60s, when Martin Luther King was doing his thing and the police stepped on their neck, that's how Martin Luther King, when he went to Alabama for one of the marches, his idea was to let these white folks come out and beat us up. Because the TV cameras caught that.
Okay.
And that's when the rest of the world opened up their eyes, when it came on the evening news.
Okay.
And they could see these dogs and these policemen beating up these black folks. And that sort of changed.
Okay.
And now, 60 to 2000 to 20, we're talking almost 50, 60 years. And now, until we got white folks on our side, it's changing a little bit, because when white folks get out and protest and we're shoulder to shoulder with them, more of them wake up.
Right.
And they have to see, then they can see what's going on. You know,
Right.
a lot of folks they've only saw death on TV in a movie. They saw death on TV in real life a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
The
Exactly.
brother in Minnesota. And
Right.
that opened their eyes a little bit more.
Right.
You know.
Right. Now, so you're saying back in let's just say the Martin Luther King march, the white people wasn't marching in that.
There were
march.
some, but not as many as you saw this past week with
Right.
these 12 or 14 marches they
Right.
had in Washington.
Right.
Oh, there were always some liberal whites
Okay.
who were
Okay.
out there marching with us,
Right.
but not enough to change the world.
Right. Exactly.
So what happened in the last 3 or 4 weeks, starting in Minnesota and going on with what just went down in Georgia, the white folks are trying to hang with us, which can eventually change the world.
So these rides or these peaceful marches that they're doing, it is a possibility that it will be a change for a better black community.
Community, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay. So it's most definitely worth doing. you
Oh,
know.
definitely.
You know what I'm
This
saying?
is the only way you get change.
Right. Right.
You know, like me, myself, and my war was, what I'm trying to find a term that I like to tell people. Everyone's talking about their war, the desert war here, the desert war there. My war was a jungle war. Okay. Now, there have been only 3 presidents, as far as I'm concerned, that's done something for the black people. You start with Abraham Lincoln and the Emancipation Proclamation.
Okay.
Then you go to President Truman, who integrated the military. Okay, and now you go to Johnson, who helped get the Civil Rights Bill signed.
Okay.
There's never been another president who's done anything for me as a black man.
Right. Right. Okay. So let me ask you this, because I'm going deep because I'm trying to get a particular understanding, or I want to say a particular message. When you was growing up, did your dad ever talk to you about some of the stuff that was going on as he grew up?
Well, he came out of the South.
Okay.
They didn't want to tell you the history of what they had to go through down the South.
Okay.
Then again, I said the stuff that black folks had to go through down the South, you know, is unreal what you would think of today, because you know they had the lynchings, and you know everything was mum. No, that's like you getting a serviceman who just came from a war to sit down and talk to you. He's not going to tell you about that war. So a lot of our parents who came out of the South, they're not going to tell you about what happened to black folks in the South.
Yeah,
They're
that's
not going
right.
to do that.
That's true, because just thinking about that, 'cause
Yeah.
my mom come from out of that end, and she never really, because she left when she was young though. I think my mom, if I'm not mistaken, I think she said she left when she probably was like around 12 or something like that.
She was just a child.
Yeah, you know what I mean,
yeah.
and never went back. You know what I mean?
My parents were grown when they got up here, you know.
Okay,
And
okay.
like I said, when they came across the Potomac River, they thought they were in the promised land. Because they were out of the South, you know, it's from what they understood about it.
Right.
They were out of the South and they were in the promised land.
So where do you, just your own thoughts, where do you think we go from here with the COVID-19? Do you think that there was a plot to kill?
I don't, excuse me for cutting you off,
Go ahead.
but I don't believe in conspiracy theories. COVID has been, our current president, he just didn't learn about COVID. Our president before him left them a stack of books, this is what to do when this thing comes. But if the president we have now, everything the former president, his predecessor did, he's wiped it out.
Right.
So when our current president heard about COVID, he didn't go back to look into the books, into the history of what's been written about this. He said, now this is what I'm saying, he said,
Right.
the hell with it, we'll ride it out, because they don't know what they were talking about.
Right.
So
right.
and then he got dumped on.
Right. Right. Yeah. Most definitely. How did you feel about President Obama when he was in office?
Well, when a black man comes in that position or any position, mainly in the government, we as blacks think that they can do everything in the world for us, but they can't. You know, they just can't do it, and they do what they can. But like I said, there are only 3 presidents who've ever done anything for me, and you know, I stated what it was. Obama filled his position for his 8 years, and there's nothing specifically that he did for me. I didn't see any laws come out of his, although he couldn't pass any laws because he didn't have the Congress to sign off on his ideas.
Right.
So,
Well, you know, it most definitely, man, is a pleasure to sit here and go over these things with you because of the knowledge, the experience that you done had. You know what I'm saying? Because it'd been a difference me sitting here talking to a guy my age, and we don't have that much experience about really let me see what word I want to use. Do I want to use the corporate world? What goes on, you know, in the White House and the laws that's been made and changed and things like that. I really don't have a whole lot of knowledge on that kind of stuff because in my growing up, that stuff wasn't even like important to me. And I think now that, you know, what I'm receiving and going through now, I think it need to be important to the youngins that's coming up now.
well, you know, if your eyes and ears are open, life is a learning process. You know, in an organization that you know, you can't learn, go up to the top and learn top down. You learn bottom up. You know, you learn how to get in and do things from the bottom, and then you take everything in.
Okay.
So that's what you have to do.
Yeah, and that's what's up, man. Look, y'all can feel free to call in at any time, man. 240-719-2560. That's 240-719-2560. If you'd like to get into this discussion, if you'd like to ask us some questions, if you'd like to give us some details about, you know, something you know, feel free to call at any time. Because we most definitely here to try to answer your questions, to give you the input that may help you, or you can give us some input that may help us. Oh, man, I ain't even get to say that fast enough. Thanks for calling the Moe Show. How can I help you?
How you doing, Brother Tom?
Hey, what's up with your mod and ma?
Hey, ain't too much. How you doing, Mr. Goin?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thank you very much for asking.
It's always good to hear a fellow transportation worker, you know, as I am myself currently. Now, I have a good question for you because you come with your age. Back then, with all the black bus companies, and I'm going to name one specifically that you may know of. He was one of the first black millionaires in our area, Abner McLean.
McLean.
Yep, McLean Bus Company. He ran the cab companies as well. Now, my question I want to get to, and with my experience, do you feel more comfortable working with a black transportation company or a white transportation company?
Well, to answer that for you, I've never worked for a black transportation company for my total pay. Now, I have had some black transportation companies, and a personal friend of mine, he worked with Trailways with me, and then he went down to South Carolina and opened his own company. And when he brought people north, I would relieve him and worked here. But I've never had to depend on a black transportation company for my livelihood.
Okay. And the reason I asked that, because I just wanted to see this. Right now, in the transportation, I'm done with over-the-road driving. I'm actually a supervisor for a ride-on public transportation. But when I was with, doing over-the-road, and I've dipped it down between black companies, actually, and they all done the same thing. They stole from their workers. You know, they stole from the bus driver.
That's probably why I never worked for them.
Exactly. And see what they were doing, it was like stealing tips. Taking that Sharpie magic marker and blackening out some of the language that was in some of these contracts. And so when eventually I got hip to it, and I said, you know what, I would hate to leave my own people who's doing something, but at the same time, my own people are trying to screw me.
You got to work for the man that's treating you right and doing right. And once you start working for a man who's taking money out of your pocket, you don't stay there long.
Exactly. You know, and I tried to turn a blind eye a couple times because there was, some trips I really wanted to do just to go see that particular part of the world, but at the same time, I was robbing myself. I was helping him rob me.
and then a lot of now this has been passed on to me, but they want to take they want you to take your log and manipulate it so you can work longer.
There it is. And you know what? You see what that led to. Everybody is doing electronic logs now.
Oh, yeah. I've been out of over-the-road transportation too long to even mention, but, I'm keep aware of what's going on in the business.
Yeah.
Well, Marty Marr, man, look, man, you got to come on the show, man. You can't, you can't dominate the show, man, on the telephone, man. But we most definitely appreciate you calling, man. And, how as I feel is, you like talking cold worker to cold worker right now, man. Always a pleasure.
It's a pleasure.
Excuse me, one question before you leave. Did you drive for any of the majors?
I have. I've driven 4 trailways, actually, for a short time. I drove, what else? March. I drove for March for a little while.
Gold Line. Everyone knows that.
Yep, Gold Line. I did the dance through all of them companies, man, and,
Was Charlie Neal around when you were driving?
Yep. Charlie Neal was still there.
Okay.
Yep,
we know
Charlie
some of the
Neal.
same people.
Yeah, and Charlie Neal was actually a good mentor.
Yeah, very.
Yep, was a really good mentor.
Yep.
Well, once again, man, thanks for calling. You can't dominate my show, man, on transportation, man.
It's good talking to you, Mr. Goins.
All right, anytime.
All right, man, you have a good one. I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Yeah, but that's my man Marty, man. He done been on the show. He been on one time. Did he been one or twice? I think he been one time. He been on the show, but good brother, man. Like I said, man, the phone lines are open, man. Call in at any time for any questions or anything you want to talk about. But at this moment, man, we're going to take a quick commercial, and then we'll be right back.
We cranking in the morning.
Hey.
We thumping in the evening time. We boogie all night, y'all. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it again. Yeah. We went southeast. Let's do it again. Yeah. We went Nate. Let's do it again. Yeah. I ain't forgot about your peace. Let's do it again. Yeah. We cranking in the morning. We thumping in the evening time. We booging all night, y'all. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it again. Yeah. Ain't forgot about you, Tasha. Let's do it again. Yeah. We were Big Tay. Let's do it again. Yeah. Let's do it again. Yeah. Let my music play, play, play. Ooh, come on and do it. I say the people in the back, come on, do it. I say the people in the balcony, let's do it, do it. Ha! Ooh. I say the people on your left side, come on. I say the people in the front, let's get it. cranking in the morning, we thumping in the evening time. We booging all night, y'all. Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it again. Yeah, I ain't forgot about you. Let's do it again. Yeah, we were Tommy. Let's do it again. Yeah, what's up, Trail? Let's do it again. Yeah, break the dog. Lock it. Get it. Keep it right now. Keep it right now. Right now. Right now. Hey! We cranking in the morning, we thumping in the evening time. We boogie all night, y'all. Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it again. Yeah, you alright, Doc? Let's do it again. Yeah, where you at, Brandon? Let's do it again. Yeah, let's do it again. Yeah, wait a minute. Knock it down. Knock it down.
All right. That's right. We back once again, man. The one and only Tom Moe. That's right, baby. Hey, look, man. As y'all can see, man, I got another guest, man. Decided to slide through here, man. The one and only Mr. Donnell Jackson with Put It In Your Mouth Records, man. Yes, indeedy, man. Great friend of mine. Y'all already know it, man. Partner. He be hanging out, man. He be hanging out, man. But we gonna most definitely get with him in a minute. But what I want to do, man, I want to go back and I want to ask you, like, because you already told me about how you feel about the COVID. You know what I mean? You gave me the demonstration on the segregation stuff that's going on, and all the information that you have gave me and my audience, man, is most definitely good information. Because what I do not see in you is being prejudiced about what's going on. You just saying for what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Tell it like it is.
Right. You know what I mean? So that means more to me than a person trying to shoot down some stuff when we already know the reality of it. You know what I'm saying? I have my own thoughts about both sides. When I look back at the Martin Luther King days and see the riots and the water hose and the dogs and all that kind of stuff, it's terrifying. And of course, I would say, oh, I couldn't have been back then. But it's more terrifying today to know that these police officers now today can still actually kill a black man on the street and feel like it's all right.
If it wasn't for the cameras,
Yes.
you know, you have to look at the police as just like guys in the military. They call them a band of brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the police is. They're a band of brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not going to tell on the
Mm-hmm.
ones that are doing the bad things,
Mm-hmm.
even if they disagree with it
Mm-hmm.
or don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
They're in a gathering or a union or a band, and they just don't tell on the bad cops. They know which ones are bad and who do the bad things, but they don't tell on those.
Excuse me, Mr. Donnell. Your hand is all in front of my camera over there, big bro. Yeah, and I know that because they become a family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the whole thing is, though, like, wrong is wrong, right is right. Especially when you taking a life. When you're taking a life. And especially when I'm a black officer and you a white officer and you doing this to my people. I think the line should be drawn somewhere. As a black man, though.
Well, I look at that two things. It's just take, for instance, the cops in Minneapolis.
Okay.
One of those cops was black. But you have to realize 3 of them were rookies. Mm-hmm. And the officer that held his knee on the brother's neck was their supervisor. It didn't say, but he was the one who had, training control. Them. Mm-hmm. So there was nothing much they could say if they wanted their job.
Right.
They didn't expect him to kill the man.
Right.
So, and even one of them spoke up and said, hey, cut him some slack. But he had his knee on the man's neck and he didn't care.
Now, I just seen some footage that was sent to me where when the ambulance pulls up and the guy comes over to check his pulse, it's not a paramedic. It's a officer. Like you got like the state trooper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was an officer, and then when the other person came out and grabbed the what they call that? The courier. It was another officer. It was no paramedics. What I'm saying, I never seen.
I don't think they were sending an ambulance with 2 cops in it.
That's what I'm saying. But where this come from? Because it was an ambulance, and these 2 police jumped out that joint and put them on a gurney. And then put them inside the truck, man.
Well, I can't.
You
I
didn't see that
voice on that because no.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you that. You need to see that because when I seen that, I'm like, well, where's the paramedics? Did you see it?
Yeah, it was gone. That was the police working.
That's what I'm saying. So how? I mean, that don't even make sense, though. You know what I'm saying? That don't even make sense. Like, I mean, hey, okay, it's non-bothering. Once again, what's up, Mr. Jackson? How you doing today, sir?
Man, I'm great.
Introduce yourself, man, to my guest here.
All right. Jackson. How you doing, bro?
Doing fine.
You know what I mean?
Well.
Now, what you got going on, man? Because you always got something popping in the kitchen.
Well, we're about to head back on the road next week. We've been on the road for like 3 months, quarantine. Put it in your mouth, records, Arcanelli. We got another venture we about to start. We're going to do this thing. Me and Tom are going to do this thing. Let's do it again. Now, what this is we're going to take and show the Go-Go Nation how that you don't have to travel with a band to make a song a hit. You know what I mean? Like, right now, when the stuff open up, it ain't gonna be a lot of work for a lot of bands. Like, if you're not really a big band, you're not gonna work.
I believe that.
You know, like, I'm going up here tonight to see how this Southern Thoughts joint work out tonight at Hangers Club. Mm-hmm. I want to see this. I got to see how this work out.
I gotta be in pack.
I'm gonna go play on this.
Yeah, I gotta be in pack. Just carry your mask with you.
I got it. You going with me?
No, I ain't going with you. Ain't no you saying that.
Yeah,
I gotta go in the house.
You
know what I mean? I got other obligations.
I know this like my little brother right here. This boy here, man, this tough character, man. It's tough character here, man.
See me up, trying to pull me out there in the crowd.
You know, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there too, man. We got something going on the south side tomorrow for my sister Wanda's birthday on Horner Place. We had the DJs out there. I just got word from my man, D. Carter. I forgot it was his birthday weekend in Miami, so I'm fly out to Miami and go celebrate down there with the brother.
We the link.
Yeah. And I'll be back Monday.
He with y'all too, Power.
Yeah.
Empire Records. Yeah. He's no stranger to the show.
Nut. What's up, Big Nut?
You know.
Yeah. So so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fly out probably Friday night, come back Monday, then Wednesday we back on the road. We'll probably be out for like 4 months.
Right.
You know, We the Link, D. Carter, Let's Do It Again. You know, all us is linked up together. You know, y'all know Tom, my little brother. You know, he can't travel, so you know you don't see him on the road because he can't go nowhere.
Hey, Nut. He keeps telling me I'm his little brother. I already know I'm older than him, Nut. I already know I am. I don't know why they keep wanting to put me under, because I always looked younger than them.
How you
know
older
what I'm
than me?
saying? But
How old are you?
asking Nut said the same thing. He
How old
ain't
are you?
know. You know what I mean?
I just
but
wanna
we
know-
ain't putting that all out on the TV.
I want to know how old are you, Tom?
Don't be doing that,
You just
man.
you said you're older than me.
Yeah, we'll
I'm
talk
55.
about that later.
I'm 55.
Yeah, well, see, that's how I already know.
Yeah, I'm
But
55.
anyway.
So if you want to be older
Nah,
than me, you
nah.
65? Okay then, old man. Hey, old man.
I'm past
Well, this is my
55.
big brother. This is my big brother.
I'll be. No, anyway, we'll talk later. I'm going
I'll
to
put your ass on spot.
Yeah, I'm going to put it up there.
Yeah.
But when you start doing this traveling, where do that lead me, man? Where did that lead me?
You can't go nowhere.
If I go out of town, I need to be going out of town because I'm gonna be making some money.
Well,
Because if I'm gonna go out of town,
let's stop right there.
Can I finish?
Let's stop with the money.
Okay.
'Cause that's why this go-go shit ain't going nowhere. Because you can't stop making money. You got to go out there and do promo stuff to make, in order to get you some money.
Okay, but my thing is this: for me to go out of town,
Who know you?
I'm gonna spend. You know me, don't you know me?
Yeah,
You just said
but
up there.
we gotta get the world to know you.
Your big brother, then
We
the little
got
brother.
to get the world to know you.
Okay, that's your job.
And that's what I'm telling you. That's what called promo runs.
So how I'm gonna survive out there if I ain't got no money? How I'm gonna survive?
I'm gonna take care of you. You gonna
Okay, see, now you talking. Now you saying
Yeah.
something. Now
Yeah.
I'm making.
You know, me and I'll
Breakfast.
you know, me and I'll go make sure you all right. We ain't gonna let you know.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna hurt. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, come on, man. We gonna make sure you're
because
all
I'm
right.
just saying, like the way my life is set up,
Yeah, I'm listening.
is that, I don't come out my house just to be out the house.
I understand.
come out my house because I'm trying to make progress in some things that I'm doing. So
And
for
I'm
me
proud
to
of you,
go
brother.
out of town, that means I'm going out there for a purpose that's going to benefit.
I understand.
Because
bro.
I can be broke right here and be
Right.
happy.
Right.
Then go somewhere else and,
Right.
and be broke and come back still broke.
I understand.
Nah, I can't.
understand,
That
bro.
just ain't who I am.
Well, guess what? That's why when this open up,
Mm-hmm.
you still gonna be broke because a lot of these little bands not gonna work.
How am I gonna still be broke if I'm with you?
But that's what I'm telling you. You got to go out on a promo run. You talking about
Y'all see how personal I'm getting with him on
Listen.
this?
Listen,
Because I want the world to know. So when y'all see him out there on the road and he's
Check this
smiling and he looking all fat and juicy, you can say, well, where Tom Moe at?
Hey, listen.
He got on the show talking about, man,
Hold
we
on.
got you.
hold on. Let me
But we
clear
don't
this
even
up.
see him.
Let me clear this up.
Do that for me.
When I'm on the road, right, my partner is Akinelli, right?
That's
He's
right.
a pretty wealthy guy. And, we started from scratch together, so he makes sure I'm all right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to make sure that you all right and bring you in under me
Okay.
because you're my brother.
You never get as big as him.
No, I'll never get as big as him. He's actually what they call the face of Washington, D.C. Go-Go. I don't know if you ever heard the song, Put Your One Leg Up, Put Your Booty on the Floor.
No, I never. Heard
Well, he came up with that song, and that kind of went worldwide, right?
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you what my cadres called me and said. While he got home, Alcadelli called me like 3 days ago, maybe 4 days ago, and said, "Listen, Fats, you've been around go-go all your life, right? So why don't you make a record?" I said, "Nigga, I don't make no motherfucking record. I make hits. I make the records hits." So they want to make me a face, right? So I said, well, why not make my little brother the face? And they saying that, and I understand the business, right? The business is people buy what they see, who they know.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
If you super known, like, I'm not saying I'm not bragging or nothing, but I've been around a long time. You know what I mean? And
These
I don't really
55
want to do
years
it.
you been
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, I really don't want to do it. I'm a back guy. You know
Right.
what I mean?
I know.
I'm not a front guy.
I'm here.
I like to make guys like you be the front guy.
That's right. Let me be one.
Put your boogie shoes on, click your heels two
Yeah,
times, and jump up in the sky.
That's right.
You can't jump no more, Tomo.
Yeah, yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Tomo, you
I
better.
can still move and all that.
Tomo, you make it. When you supposed to make a left, you make a right.
Well, that's because I don't be knowing where I'm going.
and your
But-
GPS is not
but
working.
look,
Right.
But look, this is my brother, man. Listen, I
But do
love
you
him to
know,
death.
on, for the last 2 days, the GPSs and the phones been messed up?
Everything messed up.
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 Well, I was listening, and it was one of the telephone companies were having problems.
Okay, yeah.
Well, it's like, man, let me tell you something. It's like right now they trying to control us. They trying to control our movement.
But excuse me for cutting you off. Who are they?
Yeah.
That's what I've always wanted. When
Right,
somebody
but
says
talk
they
Pacific.
are, who are they?
I don't know. It's like, how did all of a sudden that you older than me, sir? But I never seen nothing like this in my life where you can shut everything down.
That's always possible.
Okay.
You know, you don't even have to get into conspiracies to know that there's someone who can push the button
And
that
shut
can
it down.
everything down.
I always believed that. Always
Now, is
believed that,
that
sir.
that someone the president, or is it higher than him?
He don't know what button to push.
Okay, cool.
He
I just wanna be
retarded.
clear. I want
He's
to be
retarded.
clear.
Say that now.
Okay,
I said
yeah,
it. He's
When
retarded.
I go out
Yeah.
here tonight, I'm going home. You guys in the black suits, they be waiting on me.
Wasn't the Jew?
But listen, but what I'm saying is, listen. In all my lifetime, right, I never seen nothing that shut down us like this.
Well, you
Well-
know, what I tell everybody, if you live long enough, you'll see a whole lot.
Right.
But you got to live long enough
To see it. Right.
You know, I had no idea we were going to have a black president in my lifetime.
Exactly.
You know,
But you seen it.
Me
But,
too.
but hey, it done came along.
Because
Yeah.
he lived long enough.
To see it.
You
Yeah.
live long enough,
Yeah.
you'll see a whole lot.
Right.
Just like if you live long enough, you're going to see that my face going to be known all over the world.
Yeah.
If you live long enough.
Well, you know, your face is already. You could be a representative. I think that you could be probably a representative for, like a Planters Peanut or something like that.
No. Look, you know, we
Yeah.
eat peanuts, eat steak.
Y'all,
Yeah.
man.
Steakhouses.
Man,
Yeah.
I did not bring y'all on the show, man, to bash me,
But
man.
look, no, that's my man, that's my bro. Man.
I done went from the peanut man to
Hey,
the
listen.
steak man. You know what I'm saying?
No, for real, man. Listen, this brother here makes some good music, man. He made, but what I tried to tell him is that you can make all the good songs in the world. If you ain't got the money to push the song,
To get
you
it
just
out
got a
there.
song.
The thing about it, when you say got the money to push it out there, the music business is no different than it was 50 years ago.
Right.
If you didn't have somebody with the money
You ain't going nowhere.
to promote you,
You wasn't going
you
nowhere.
wasn't going anywhere.
That's right.
But
No
this
matter how good you were,
That's right.
you weren't going anywhere.
So-
This is what I'm trying to get you to do.
Now, what you guys are telling me, it hasn't changed in 50 years.
No.
You know?
So listen. So let's go back, right? Because you're a little older than me.
A lot older
I've
than
been.
you.
I started with.
Little
I started
bit
out in
alright.
go-go. I've been around go-go since I was like 10 years old, right? I watched Chuck from the beginning to the end. You understand? And I never understood. Wow, you know, like I'm in the music industry. I travel the world. Like our music is stuck here, but we got the best music.
You know, that's an opinion. It's just like I was looking at one of the old shows the other night on TV, and with Jerry Butler and all those old guys, and I'm not in the music industry, so I don't know. But this guy was telling Jerry that, you know, there's the Philadelphia sound. There's the guys from Detroit. There was the Detroit sound.
And the Motown
The
sound.
Motown was the Detroit sound, but Chicago had everybody's sound.
Right.
You know,
Yes,
I don't
they
know. You know, I'm just
Yes,
knowing
they
what
did.
I learned on TV
Yes,
the
they
other
did.
night.
But all the
And-
biggest
and-
groups came out of Chicago.
And the thing about DC is you don't hear about that many entertainers coming out here
Right.
and making it busy,
Yes.
making it
And
live.
but you have a lot of people in DC who have made a lot of people that's big now, but they're just in the background.
back, you know,
Living in the
where-
background.
Where is there a large record company in DC?
None. You know,
know.
and it's crazy because me and Puppy had this conversation on the Bad Boy tour, and he said, you could be the bad boy of a go-go, but I can't get all my people to work together to be the bad boy of go-go.
When you say all your people, what do you
Like all my go-go bands, like they come together in unity together.
I understand what you're saying, but it's cutthroat.
Right.
You know, let's say you got 5 bands that you control, and they're not working for all of them to grow. Number 4 will cut number 3 and
Without
number
a
2
doubt.
down so he can move up.
The number 1.
Yeah, to number 1.
That's right.
So,
You're exactly right, sir.
It's not that his music is that good. He's doing all he can also to make the music, but he's doing all he can to talk his competitors down.
You're exactly right, sir.
Well, I think that what you
You're
should do
100% right.
is handpick the people that you want to start this with that's going to be on board with you and not trying to cut throat the next person.
You're working
and the next
together
person.
as a group.
Right.
For the,
You know,
for
like
the whole.
right, like how Motown did it. Motown did that.
Well,
How many
well,
people-
even then with Motown, Barry Gordon wasn't paying them folks any money.
But even at that,
Yeah.
though,
He
Alex,
was
right?
making the
Let's
money.
go back. Let's go back. Genuine, Tank, Raheem.
They
Let's
came
even
out
go
of
back
DC.
to Marvin Gaye. You understand?
Yeah.
Everybody who breaks in D.C. immediately leaves here.
Yeah, but there's nothing here.
There's nothing
DC
here.
is not a music town.
There's nothing here.
So I'm
I've been
moving.
here all my life. It's not a music
It's
town.
definitely not.
I'm moving. It's
You're right,
nice
sir.
meeting
You said the
I'm
key
moving.
word.
I'm moving, man.
You said the key word, sir.
It's not a music
Yes,
town.
you said the key word.
I'm
So
moving.
that's why people. This is why people don't understand. They say like, well, Wale moved to Florida or Tank moved to California.
You gotta go where the money is. Where the entertainment.
There you have. They going in the entertainment circle where they continue to get work.
Work. That's the whole thing.
That's the key, so they can feed their family. People don't understand. They feel like they sell out. They're not sell out. They're trying to feed their family while they can.
To make their income a little bit more.
Right.
You know.
So, like in this music game, excuse me, when it's over with, it's going to be a whole change of it. Because you're not going to be able to get them $200,000 shows a night. Because you ain't going to be able to get the capacity in the arenas.
They're not building small arenas.
Yeah.
You know, like when they used to have out in Gaithersburg, the first stage they built in the round.
Yeah, the fairground.
No, it wasn't the fairground. I can't think. Shady Grove.
Shady Grove, you're
Shady
right.
Grove is what it was. And there, I remember the last person I saw out there was, Isaac Hayes.
Yeah.
And when he had on his
All them
That
chicks.
she, yeah.
he was the Black Moses.
Yeah.
They don't build little groups now. When you got a group, you got to fill 50, 60,000 stadium.
Yeah.
You know.
So, and I tell people, right, like Go-Go, right? Go-Go don't have a tax bracket. Rappers have a tax bracket. So they able to survive. They gonna withstand this.
Well, the rappers don't have to pay the background people.
Yeah.
You know.
Not at all.
Or the band.
Yeah.
You know? You got some old 78s that he can scratch out on there and go from there. Mm-hmm. Or steal from other entertainers.
And Chuck
in their
Brown
lives.
told me a story a long time ago. It was in this limousine, right? He said, listen, when he made the song, I Need Some Money. He told the band, he said, listen, either y'all can take a pay and record this song, or we can take and keep this money and push the record and make more money. Everybody in the band wanted a payout. So Chuck went and had his wife to take out a loan and push the record himself. The record became huge. Now everybody looking for some more money, but they wanted the payout. So how'd you get some more money?
You've been paid.
You've been paid. And they looked at him like he was crazy, but
Talking about money.
but in all actuality, he was right. He gave you opportunity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They didn't take it.
You didn't take it.
Most people and most poor people and most go-go bands start out as poor people. They want it in their pocket.
We're in their
because
pocket right now.
That who's ever in charge, they used to making all the money.
Right.
They see them make all the money. They say, no, give me mine now, and
Right.
I'll work it from there.
So, as your age, right, and I'm quite sure you're familiar with go-go music.
Yeah, how can
He
you
lived
come out
right
of
next
DC
door
and-
to me.
Right.
He hit me banging.
So let me ask you this: do you think that this is something that's going to go that's going to die? Being though that Chuck died and
Eventually,
Pioneers.
if you don't have the person out front
To push it
who's
more further.
keep pushing it,
That's right.
and coming out with something new, here it may not die in D.C.,
Right.
but how far out of the boundaries of Washington is it going on?
Right.
Is it going on in Baltimore?
No, you can't
Is it
go.
going on in
It's
Philadelphia?
not going to. The furthest you going with go-go right now is probably you get into Atlanta, you get to Florida once a year, but it's not like it's been played in cities on a regular. You understand?
Yeah.
So the difference in the music trend, what I try to tell the guys is this. Like, we got a gold record. We just had
Hey, what's up with y'all?
first gold record. You know what I mean? And we had to break our artist in his area. He was from North Carolina. But the support system down there was so good that we was able to get the support that we needed behind them in order to get them to gold. Then the colon came. So hopefully when we open back up, that when we look at these numbers, that we heading towards platinum.
Are you in North Carolina? Are you still promoting it with the colon? I mean, you know, the
Yeah, we still working. Yeah, we still work.
Still pump it out.
Yeah, we still work social media.
Yeah.
We do live streams. I have them do live streams, talk to their fans and all that, you know, while they at home.
You got to keep them in the loop.
Got to keep them in the loop. Mandatory to keep them in the loop.
Well, it's about our time, man, for us to get up out of here, man. It's been most definitely a pleasure, man, to have my neighbor to come in and sit down with me, man, and talk about, you know, everything that we talked about, man. I think it's wisdom and knowledge that we received from him today. You know what I'm saying? It was a blessing that Mr. Donnell Jackson slid through here, because that's all he did was slid through here, and to share what's going on with him and the upcoming events he got, and where Go-Go ain't going to be going.
See, that's a difference. That's why I tell people, always have plan A, B, C, and D.
Okay.
And, you know, excuse me for cutting you guys off again, but Chuck was Go-Go.
Yes.
He was Go-Go.
Yes.
And now that he's passed on, I haven't seen anybody who stepped
Take
in
torch.
and carrying Go-Go on.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying. That's all I can say. I'm trying. I got some nice music I done put together, and it's just going to matter of time that it may get out. I'm looking for Mr. Donnell Jackson's assistance on his whatever he can do.
You got to get on this train. He done told you that.
There you go, sir. Thank you.
You know what? It's time for us to go.
There you go, sir.
You know what I mean?
You know, Tomo don't like to face the truth.
They ain't listening. They ain't listening to me.
Tomo don't like
You know
to
what I mean?
face the truth.
You know,
I understand why you can't go,
I know.
but you can't have these desires.
Hey, stop playing that music, man, so we can get out of here, because I see where he going with
Tomo
it.
don't like to face the truth. He
If ain't nobody told you they love you today, man, I do.
His wife cooks too good.
From this point, true that. From this time to the next time, peace. We out of here.
Been good.
We're clicking in the morning. We're jumping in the evening time.
We're moving all night long. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it again. Murray Farm, what's up? Let's do it again. Whole wide, come on. Let's do it again. Southwest, you up in the building. Let's do it again. Yeah.
We're clicking in the morning. We're jumping in the evening time.
We're moving all night long. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it again. Say the whole white crew outside. Let's do it again. Hey. Say my main man Earl, what's going? Let's do it again. Southwest, what's up? Let's do it again. Hey. I let my music for taping out.
I see you sexy Keisha. Let's do it. Yeah. Do it.
Wow.
Yeah, we got a cancer birthday up in here tonight. We gonna do it tonight. You feel me? Yeah. A happy birthday, Kim. That's right. See you over there. Do it.
Tiana,
I only mess with you. And do it.
come on.
Boys, freak up in the building.
Lindsay. Let's do it again. It's just about to get true.
Yeah, I wanna wish my man, Big Moe, happy birthday. Cause we at a cancer party tonight. You already know. We wanna do it. We wanna do it for y'all cancers tonight. Do it. Do it. Yeah. 14th and Congress up in the building.
Come on.
Do it. We're cranking in the morning. We're jumping in the evening time.
We're moving all night long. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it again.
You got the whole LA mob up in here.
Let's do it again.
Yeah. We're gonna do a shot for the Chicago mob.
Let's do it again.
Also down south. Y'all feeling it down south?
Let's do it again.
Let's indeed. Yeah.
Hey, Trail. Come on.
Come on. Tonight. What's up, Cold Walk? One love up in the building. Uptown. Uptown.
Watch your step.
Got triple cities. Triple city honeys up in here. And Melon Place. Oh yeah. MLK. I wanna play. I watch the people come on.
Come on. Big car. Come on, my main man, Troy.
A 58.